Hello everyone, welcome to this session. In this session, we will talk about the loop in MATLAB programming. So in all programs, we often want to repeat some sections of code or specified lines of the code. This often happens. So for example, in the future, you will apply specific operations to the elements of a matrix. And in some engineering problems, for example, in control system, you may be required to carry out a task and repeat it and with the same instructions for many times. So in this case, we use loops. So in MATLAB, loops have two forms, a while loop and a for loop. So the while loop, we repeat until the assigned condition is false. So as long as the condition is true, we continue the while loop. For for loop, this is different. This often happens that we know how many times we will repeat the code beforehand, right? So when it's reached the number of times that we want it to repeat, it will terminate. So let's first see the while loop. So in while loop, you often don't know how many times do you want to repeat, but you know the condition that the while loop, when the condition is true, the while loop will continue. So we can see the while loop have this form. So while condition, the code is here. This is the body of the while loop. So the condition is checked before the execution of the code. So when the condition is false, then the while loop stopped. Otherwise, when it's true, it will repeat again and again. So in this case, there may have a problem, right? Common problem. So in this condition, there may be something that we have not considered before, or there are some mistakes here. So this while loop will become a dead loop. It will run forever, right? So this needs to be considered. So to stop a dead loop in MATLAB, you can use a stop button in the toolbar, or you use a hotkey Control-C. Right? So this is a while loop, and let's see an example. The question is that I want to find the value of n, so such that the 2 with the power of n is larger than 1000. Okay, how can we do the program? It's here. So we first put n as 0, then I put a while loop. So as long as 2 with the power of n is smaller than or equal to 1000, I add 1 to n. Right. So we can see that the condition is true as long as 2 to the power of n is less than 1000. Right. So then after running this code, you will find in the workspace n is equals to 10. So this is easy to verify. As you can see, the 2 with the power of 10 is equals to 1024. So this is greater than 1000. So this is while loop. More details can see the live script. Then we can see the for loops. As I've said before, for for loops, we often know that how many times that we will repeat the code. In MATLAB, the for loop takes a form like this. For I equals to a iterable variable. So normally this is a 1D matrix, and the body is here with an n here. So the here the variable I will be equals to the different element of this iterable object in the execution of the loop until all of the elements are used, the for loop ends. So now let's see an example. The question is that I provide a one-dimensional matrix. This matrix is called the MAT. And this matrix has 1000 numeric elements. I want to find the number of elements that the value is equals to 5. So how to write the program? So we can first put the count equals to 0, right? Then I generate a for loop. So I equals to linspace 1, 1000, 1000. So what does this mean? So linspace, you can recall the last week's class, right? So linspace generate a 1D matrix. So 1, 2, 3 till 1000. So starting from 1 and at 1000, there are 1000 elements. Then we go to the body of the loop. So if mat with a bracket of I, we can know the matrix indexing, right? The 1D matrix, the ith element of mat equals to 5. We add 1 to the count. So eventually we will know that how many 5 are there. An alternative way to linear space is what? Recall the last week class is colon, right? So for this one, to generate this 1, 2, 3 to 1000, I can also use this 1 colon 1 colon 1000. So this generates the same thing. And this is more widely used in the for loop. So this is for loop. MATLAB also have the continue and the break keywords, or we say it a statement. The difference is that the break keyword, when we see the break keyword, the current loop or the nearest loop, we goes out of it, we jump out of it, right? For the continue, this one means what? Means we skip the current iteration, but it's still in the loop. So let's see an example. So this is a program. So I equals to I colon 1 colon 10, so 1, 2, 3 to 10. So if I equals to 3, I do continue. Else if I equals to 5, I do break. So in each iteration, I print the value of I in the command window. The question is that what will be printed in the command window? So firstly, we can see that when I equals to 3, we have continue. So continue means what? Means we skip the current iteration, right? So it means that this else if and this print I will not be executed, right? So this is 3. So when I equals to 5, what will we do? We will jump out of the loop. So this loop will never do any more. I won't equals to 6, won't equals to 7. So we just go out of the while loop. So what will be printed out is what? 1, 2, when we have 3, we don't have this, so 3 won't be printed. So 4 will be printed. When it goes to 5, we just go out. This will also not be printed, and the for loop ends. So it will print out I equals to 1, 2, and 4. Right. So that is for this session. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.